very quickly a very important question that has been asked to me this week about the long-term picture of the markets. Where is the 4.5-year cycle? Okay, in this last week's ST Outlook, I'm just zooming out so that I can get a good look at this. In this last week's ST Outlook, I published a longer-term chart saying what I think is expected to happen coming out of the 40-week cycle. That's another thing to bear in mind when you're a trader. We've been talking for so long about the 40-week cycle trough forming. It's very important as a trader that you're aware of what is expected to happen when we come out of that 40-week cycle. And if you take a look at ST Outlook from last week, you'll know that I'm not expecting this to be a bullish cycle. Okay, so although the 40-week cycle is an important trough, it's an important event to mark, and it does not mean that prices are going to rise for 20 weeks. Okay. I did some calculations in ST Outlook, so take a look at that, and you'll see that even though the 40-week cycle trough might have formed on the 4th of June, it does not mean that we're in for higher prices. In fact, it is not impossible that we have already seen the 40-week cycle peak, but we don't have time to talk about that now. But what I did do was in ST Outlook, I presented this chart over here, which positioned the 54-month cycle trough in March of 2009. Okay, and so there you can see March of 2009 positions the 54-month cycle trough, and I received an email, we received an email at Sentient Trader saying that this particular user, didn't matter what he did, he was unable to position the 54-month cycle trough in March of 2009. He always ended up with the trough in October 2011 and August 2007. Okay, so here is the analysis that I presented in ST Outlook. Okay, it's worth pointing out here that with this particular analysis, there is something very weird going on over here, which does not make sense according to this analysis. So there's a big question mark. Okay, I started off today's Trader Chat by drawing some question marks on the Australian analysis. Any analysis you perform is likely to have a question mark somewhere. Okay, the important thing is to make sure those question marks are as far back in time as possible. You're making trading decisions today. You don't want too many question marks today or within the last few months. Okay, if you've got a question mark, in this case it's 9 years ago, then generally I don't worry too much about it, which is why I'm presenting this particular analysis with the 54-month cycle trough in March of 2009. But this particular user sent us an email and said, no matter what I do, I end up with this analysis in Sentient Trader, which positions this straddled trough in August of 2007, which means that the trough in October of 2011 is also a trough of the 4.5-year cycle. What can I do? Okay, well, the answer to that is actually very simple. We are this week launching version 3 of Sentient Trader, so that is that's really exciting news. I'm going to show you in a moment how at the click of a mouse in the new version of Sentient Trader you can tell Sentient Trader which of these analyses you prefer. But I think it's important to keep an eye on both of them, and to watch what is happening as the cycles unfold, and see which analysis makes more sense. Okay, and I have been watching both of these analyses for quite a long time now, and I still consider this analysis as a possible analysis. It is a possible analysis because there is such a thing as a straddled trough, and this is a perfect example of a straddled trough. As you can see here, a straddled trough in the 4.5-year cycle, and so that is valid. It does not break any rules. It's not a very elegant solution, and there are a few question marks, particularly the bearish shape of this particular 18-month cycle over here. That's the question mark over here with this analysis. But I believe it's important to keep an eye on both of them. Okay, you should keep an eye on both of these analyses. How does it change your trading decisions? It changes your trading decisions in only one way. Okay, it changes your trading decisions in terms of the underlying trend that you expect is being exerted on the cycle that you're trading. Okay? And that is the only way that it changes your trading decisions. Now, there isn't time in the minus 2 minutes we have left in today's trader chat to go into that in detail, but it's something we can talk about in a future trader chat. But very long cycles. If you're trading the 40-day cycle, you want to know, of course, where the 54-month cycle should fall. But most of your trading decisions involve cycles shorter than the 54-month cycle. That's the first thing to bear in mind. And the other thing to bear in mind is that when you're placing a trade in a 40-day cycle, you need to watch the cyclic picture unfolding. As the cycles unfold, the smaller cycles, the 10-day cycle, even the 5-day cycle, the 20-day cycle, as those cycles unfold, ask yourself, are these cycles unfolding and exhibiting an underlying trend picture that looks as if though the 54-month cycle should be in August of 2007 or in March of 2009? And in that way, you can say to yourself, the market is behaving in such a way that it seems likely that, in fact, the March of 2009 position of the 54-month cycle is correct. As an analyst, you can argue the merits of particular analyses until you're blue in the face. As a trader, you respond to how the market behaves. And recently, the market has been behaving as if though the trough in March of 2009 is in fact a trough of at least 54-month magnitude, and so you would want to change your analysis in such a way that Sentient Trader positions that 54-month cycle trough in March of 2009. I'm going to quickly, the last thing I'm going to do in today's trader chat, I'm going to very quickly show you how easy that is with version 3 of Sentient Trader, which we are rolling out over the course of the next week. And here we go. You simply zoom into your analysis. Let's turn off those semicircles. You double click your mouse near to where there is a trough that you want to move. Sentient Trader plots there a gray dashed line. Okay, and as you can see, it is suggesting to us that it moves that 54-month cycle trough to the March trough of 2009. I won't dwell now on how it knows that. I'll simply right-click and use this new menu in version 3 of Sentient Trader, pin 54-month cycle trough to the price trough of the 6th of March 2009. I click on that menu. Sentient Trader re-performs its analysis. And in a moment, once it has finished performing that analysis, you will see the results of influencing Sentient Trader's analysis at the very simple double click of a mouse. You have to perform 2 clicks. It's not a single click. But there we go. There we go. Sentient Trader has re-performed the analysis. As I think you can see, the 54-month cycle is now positioned over here in March of 2009. There's no more building of expert models, although you can still build expert models if you want to and if you have been. You can, of course, still build expert models. You don't have to build expert models. If you want to influence the analysis that Sentient Trader is performing, you simply double-click with your mouse and you tell Sentient Trader where you want to position a trough. It's as easy as that. This is a fantastically powerful tool, particularly for intraday analysis. When you're watching markets intraday, building expert models on an intraday basis was pretty much impossible in version 2 of Sentient Trader. When you're trading a market intraday and you just want to slide a trough over or tell Sentient Trader that obviously you can see there's a trough somewhere over here on your 1-minute chart, all you need to do is double click and point to that trough and Sentient Trader will perform the analysis using your expertise. So that's a very, very exciting feature of the new version of Sentient Trader, and there are several other very exciting features, including the click to trade functionality. I can very simply place a trade on this FLD simply by clicking on that trade. Okay, the price level of that FLD is below the current price. So Sentient Trader pointed out that was a very stupid trade to make. I will be performing a very detailed a description of all the new features in version 3 of Sentient Trader. So that is something that you should look forward to, and you're going to find that Sentient Trader has truly become the tool, I believe, the perfect cyclic analysis tool. With that, I'd like to thank you for joining me on today's Trader Chat. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your interest in Sentient Trader. If you are a user of Sentient Trader, and I see many of you who are current users of Sentient Trader, then watch your email over the next week, because we are going to be rolling out the new version of Sentient Trader, and you're going to be receiving that very soon. And if you are not a user of Sentient Trader, then take a look at the new version 3 of Sentient Trader and all the powerful features that it now has included. So I see a question from Nathan. Several people looking forward to version 3. Yes. And a question from Nathan: what is the meaning of the top row in the cyclic model panel showing sigma L? Okay. Right, sigma L. Sigma L for the sum of all longer cycles. Okay, sigma is of course a Greek letter. There we go. That's the Greek symbol for sigma. I haven't drawn it very well, but it kind of looks something like that. Whatever. That's the Greek symbol for sigma, which, as you know, in mathematics stands for the sum of, and Hurst coined the term sigma L, which stands for the sum of all longer cycles. In other words, it stands for sum of all cycles longer than the longest cycle in your analysis. So in this particular analysis that I have on this chart here, the longest cycle, as you can see, is the 54-month cycle. So sigma L is the combined effect of all cycles longer than the longest cycle found in the analysis. That's the answer to your question, Nathan. And perhaps next time I can explain to you how Sentient Trader calculates that. It's a complicated calculation, but it represents the total sum of all cycles longer than your